Hello, Kaiju Campers. Vincent here again with a new installment of Monster Videos Part 2. And this is following up our Part 1, where I talked about a trailer collection of dinosaur movies that I picked up at my local bookstore. Another plug for those in your town. But today, I am working on some creative projects, and I thought, you know what? Perfect energy to give you a little video, a little part 2 here. And this is the movie I was thinking about this morning. It is The Thing, but not John Carpenter's. This is The Thing from Another World from 1951. This movie stars James Arness as The Thing. Minneapolis shout out right there. I'm recording this little segment and Camp Kaiju Monster Movie Podcast in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And it's always fun to shout out talent from this area. James Arness. He's known for The Thing. He's known for playing a really big part in Them from 1954 about the giant ants. But he's really, really most well known for playing the role on Gunsmoke, the long-running TV show. I think it's for a long time, it was the longest running drama television show of all time, over 20 seasons. And he played the sheriff and the star of that program the whole time. So James Arness is worth checking out. He doesn't do too much in this movie except, be the Thing. And in fact, this movie, especially if you're familiar with John Carpenter's 1980s take on the material, and I say take, I don't say remake of this, because this, as well as Carpenter's film, are both based on a short story, a novella called Who Goes There? And that was written in the late 30s, 1930s, I believe. But that story is about a shape-shifting alien that crash lands in the Antarctic, and it's frozen in the ice, and it's uncovered by a team of scientists and researchers. Carpenter's version hews a little more closely to that, just because the special effects in the 80s allowed for the shape-shifting to be portrayed. So with that said, the 1951 Thing takes a different track because it has to, because it doesn't have the sophisticated special effects that would come later. And that leads to a very interesting approach to the material. Now, this film is written by Howard Hawks. Don't quote me on that. Let me look at the back. It is... Nope, it's written by Charles Lederer. It's directed by Christian Nyby. It's produced by Howard Hawks. Howard Hawks is obviously a very well-known, influential, famous director and producer and writer from the golden age of Hollywood. His Girl Friday comes immediately to mind, and a lot of westerns. But he was a real master of a lot of different genres. So he could do the screwball comedy, he could do the gritty dramas, and apparently the sci-fi thing. So he produced this film, but as you'll read, he may or may not have largely directed it as well, although Christian Nyby gets the credit for what it's worth. So this is often called Howard Hawks is The Thing. So definitely check this movie out. It's got a lot going for it. It is very dramatic, maybe to its detriment. And what I mean by that is it is very word heavy. But if you love words and you love plays, for example, this thing is so well written. It's incredible. It just lacks maybe some of the spectacle that you might be used to with an 80s version of this material. Honestly, it's comparing apples and oranges or carrots. If you know, you know. So I'm going to leave it there, but definitely check this out. This movie is a classic. It is a foundational 1950s sci-fi drama, and it's pretty cool. Let me just read the back, and then we'll cut it here. So if you're unfamiliar with The Thing, The original and still one of the most frightening and suspenseful science fiction films of all time. Boy, I'm still figuring out this webcam. Uh, you know what? Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Boom. A great magnetic disturbance is detected near the North Pole, and when a team of scientists from an Arctic research base investigates, they make an astonishing discovery. A huge disc shaped object lying frozen beneath the ice. Even more incredible, nearby they find what appears to be some sort of man like creature. The Thing. Frozen solid. Taking it back to the base, the scientists slowly thaw the being and conclude that it is more vegetable than animal. In essence, one of the team reports it's a carrot with brains. The scientists are not prepared, however, when the alien comes alive and begins to destroy anything that crosses its path. Can anything stop this thing from another world? Check it out. If you don't have a VCR, guess what? We live in the 21st century. You can find it easily on Blu-ray, on streaming services. And then when you watch that, follow Camp Kaiju Monster Movie Podcast. Wherever you listen to podcasts, we talk about a whole host of other monster movies, sci-fi, and horror pictures. So it's what I love to do. It's what I love to spread the word about. So check it out. And until next time, stay campy.